What is going on to all my Autobots out there? And it is your boy, your man's Toxic back at it with another movie review. And since Transformers 1, I am seeing an early screening of it Saturday. I'm going to be reviewing every single movie in the Transformers franchise, and up until Bumblebee. Bumblebee will be the last one, because if you guys are wondering why I'm not reviewing Transformers Rise of the Beast, is because a while back I actually did review the movie when it did come out in 2023. So be sure to check that one out, and that should be added to my playlist as soon as this video is done. And yesterday I reviewed the Transformers 1986 animated movie, or 1980 something animated movie. I don't know which specific year came out in the 80s, but I reviewed it. And today we are going to be reviewing the 2007 first live action Transformers movie. But before we get sexual, beginning of the video, what's up, guys? Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, because number one, it's absolutely free. Number two, we'll also maybe able to YouTube regular and recommend it to more people. Maybe they could join that toxic fan. And do feel free to comment your thoughts on Transformers 2007 down below. But with that being said, guys, let's get right into it. Before we get right into it, let's give a quick plot synopsis of the movie, shall we? So transition and choose Zamiya.
The fate of humanity is at stake when two races of robots, the good Autobots and the villainous Decepticons, bring their war to Earth. The robots have the ability to change into different mechanical objects as they seek the key to ultimate power. Only a human youth, Sam Witwicky, can save the world from total destruction.
Alright, so Transformers 2007, I grew up with this movie and its two sequels, and have watched it for many, many years. Haven't watched it in a little bit, maybe like, I would say probably the last time I watched it fully was probably like a year ago, possibly, but I used to watch this a lot when I was younger. So, with that being said, guys, let's just get straight into the actual review. And this one, since I've watched it a bunch of times, I'll have more things to say, unlike the Transformers 1986 animated movie from yesterday, because that was only my second time seeing it. But anyways, let's start off with the good. We always start off with the good here for our toxic movie reviews. And first good I have is the soundtrack. I think both the songs that they pick around that time are really good, and as well the main scores of this movie that are made specifically just for it, I think are amazing. I mean, particularly that da 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 da. Da, 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 da. I love that main score of the movie, and it gets you really pumped up and excited for the movie, and I think it's really awesome. So with what they did with the score here, and I'm pretty sure the person that did do the score was actually his mentor was Hans Zimmer. So you can definitely tell there's a lot of influences there, which he gave incredible scores for this movie. Second good I have in here is the CGI. The CGI in here I thought was good. I thought when the Autobots transformed, it looked really cool on screen. And yeah, it was good for the time. Because most early 2000s movies, for the most part, or late 90s movies, have not so good CGI. But this one has some pretty solid CGI in here, so that's another one. Another good, probably this would be in the awesome tier, and that is Michael Bay's big action sequences. I mean, the man knows how to do his action sequences in most of his movies and make them over the top, but so much fun. And he also directs this movie very, very well throughout the movie here. I think before this, he did, I think the last movie he did before this was Armageddon. There might have been another movie in there, perhaps, that he did before this, but, so he brings that a little Armageddon action flair into here. The live action looks for the Autobots. I think the live action looks that they gave for the Autobots in this movie were a little bit different, and they actually do look quite decent in live action form, giving them new distinct looks. Because if they would have went with those like looks that they had in the Transformers 1986 movie, I don't think personally it would have looked as good. It would have kind of looked goofy, but they gave he gave the whoever did the art for the actual Autobots in here, they gave them a very distinct look to differentiate between the animated movie. So they did a good job on that. Let's see here. Also, I'm probably, this is one positive in itself. I thought all the side characters in here were really good. So you have Josh Duhamel in here as Major William something. I didn't realize I forgot what his last name was. But he does really good in here. I'm also playing a video game, ironically, at the same time as I'm watching these movies called The Callisto Protocol. And he's really good in that as well, and he's probably one of the better standout side characters in this movie. You also have another funny role from
Anthony Anderson, which he had me laughing quite a few times throughout the movie, and his brother too. Or was it his cousin? I don't know.
Where he said, there's a funny line later on in the movie where he says, "Get off that mama's carpet! Yeah, she don't like nobody on her carpet, especially police." It's so funny. He delivers most of the comedy in this movie, which we'll eventually get to in the positives for the comedy in this. Let me think here. The comedy, that's what I was talking about. I thought the comedy in here was really, really funny. Especially there's some jokes in here that I wouldn't expect from a PG-13 movie that a lot of kids went out to see. But most of the jokes, I actually forgot some of them were in here, and I kind of laughed out loud at one of them specifically a little bit later on in the movie. And most of the comedy did land. It didn't get over gratuitous with the comedy, it didn't get over gratuitous as as much as the later films in the franchise do. Most importantly, one of them that comes right after this. It putting Bumblebee to the forefront. I actually did enjoy that they did put Bumblebee at the forefront, because in the animated movie, he's really a side character. He doesn't pop up a whole entire lot. And in this one, he's put at the forefront, and you get to see more of his character. I enjoy what they do with his character throughout the movie, and that goes for most of the Autobots, most importantly just him and Optimus. They do really good with them in this movie and making it a Transformers movie. Let me see here. The voice acting for the Autobots, also Autobots and Decepticons in here as well, I thought were really good. That the actors that they chose. I'm pretty sure the voice actor for Optimus Prime is the same voice actor from the 1986 animated movie, and he still does really good as Optimus Prime, or whoever it is that plays Optimus Prime. He still does a really good job in here. And also all the other voice acting, especially for Ironhide, I thought was good, and Ratchet was pretty solid as well. So there's that. Another positive, the final battle sequence. The final battle sequence in here is really awesome. Probably the standout action sequence of the whole entire movie. Final good in here, I have Sam Witwicky as a protagonist. I, originally going into this one was going like, am I going to change my opinions about Sam or no? He is one of the better Transformers main protagonists of the movie. I think Shia LaBeouf plays him really, really well. There's a lot of
funny moments with him in it as well, and there's also a lot of backstory to be told from his eyes that I thought worked well with the movie's tone.
So anyways, there's that. Alright, so that is the good done. Now let's go on to the mixed aspects of the movie. Alright, and first mixed I have is I'll talk about that a little later on. It's not really a mixed aspect, it's just funny to bring up. Anyways, first one I have is the love interest of Mikaela, where She's played by Megan Fox, and I don't know necessarily how to feel about her as Michaela. I mean, I feel like there's some moments she does decent, but there's some moments where she does not. And, a little bit later on, when Sam and her are officially, like, a couple, it like, you go like, yeah, it makes sense why them two are together. They're kind of cute, you know, but the problem with the character Michaela is the movie. Well, Michael Bay purposely did this too. I think well, he over sexualizes Megan Fox's character. Where, I mean, any chance you get, you'll have a camera shot focusing on her butt. So it's just like, okay, I mean, she is hot, but do you have to really focus on the aspects of her body that much? Like, do you have to over sexualize that character so much, you know? But anyways, another mixed is the Allspark as an artifact, which I think the story overall of the Allspark is like what the item itself is cool. I just don't know if I like the look of it, the whole entire cube. But anyways, that's like a minor mixed aspect. And it's not negative, it's mixed. And then how the relationship of Sam and Michaela starts, where how, I don't know, I just find it very weird how the situation starts, where them two meet up and like she gets thrown into the situation. I find it very odd, but it eventually does fix itself later on in the movie. So the mixed aspect I was talking about earlier, which isn't a mixed aspect, is it's just, isn't it so funny that this is tied to the Friday the 13th reboot universe, which they only had one movie, unfortunately, because I still love that movie. But isn't it so weird that this is in the same universe as the Friday the 13th remake? If you guys do not know what I'm talking about, so there is notably a bully character named Trent in here, and he has a cap, he has has a truck, a little chain on his neck, and in the Friday the 13th 2009 movie, there is a character named Trent as well. He's played by the exact same character, by the exact same actor, and he has the same exact characteristics of Trent in this first Transformers movie. And in the movie, I just found it very funny how they kept on going like, oh, probably we'll never see him again. And yeah, I mean, yeah. No wonder why he pops up in the movies again, because it got killed by Jason. But anyways, I just think that's funny, and it would have been, I wonder if they would have ever done a Transformers and Friday the 13th crossover, because that would have been really interesting if they did Transformers versus Jason, which, to be honest with you, even though I like Jason Voorhees a lot, he would definitely lose that fight. Anyways, now let's move on to the bad, unfortunately. And the first bad, and I didn't even realize this when I was younger, but how long it takes them to introduce Megatron into modern day. Which, in this movie, you do get certain flashback sequences with Megatron, but you don't get a full glimpse of him, but you get those little minor flashbacks. But they're not, like, 10-minute long epilogues of the flashbacks with Megatron. The dude doesn't even pop up until maybe, I don't know, an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes into this movie, where I was just going, how long, dang, does it take Megatron to come back into the real world permanently in the movie? And he just comes back a little bit later on in the movie, and I was just going, what? Wow, that took a really long time. So, and I probably wouldn't be as harsh on it, but I bet people around that time that were huge Transformers fans were probably going, Mike, what, you introduced him now? You took forever. I bet they would have been even more mad than me. So, anyways, that's first negative. Second negative I have is the subplot with Michaela's character, where she has a father, and it's eventually revealed that he's basically in prison. I never thought that subplot was interesting. I mean, it doesn't follow it, it just mentions it, but I don't feel like that was necessary because there was a lot going on anyways in the specific movie, so there's that. And then final bad in here, it's a tiny bit too long. I mean, this movie's is 2 hours and 23 minutes long, so almost 2.5 hours long. Don't get me wrong, it keeps you entertained, but still, I feel like there could be some moments you could have trimmed. But anyways, that's just a negative of mine. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, let's bring out the toxic meter. And I will give this a B plus, a toxic Yums. And this is my, out of the review series right now, which we have 2 reviews if you're watching this right now. This is my favorite. I love this more than the animated movie, and I've always grown up on this one, so there is a special place in my heart for it. But with that being said, guys, that is just my thoughts on Transformers 2007, our first live-action Transformers adaptation to the big screen. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on the movie down below as well. But with that being said, guys, I'll see y'all next one, everybody. Peace, and Optimus, help me out here.
Autobots, roll out!